Today we are going to be involved in looking at camels in some way, shape or form, and I certainly hope that you will be able to join me in studying and enjoying selective breeding. So selective breeding is the topic for today. We are going to be able to describe examples of artificial selection. Artificial selection and selective breeding are one and the same term. We have just previously covered some topics on natural selection. What we're going to be doing today is artificial selection, which is more commonly known as selective breeding. Outline how selective breeding is carried out is what I hope most of you will be able to cover. And drawing some comparisons between artificial and natural selection is what I want you to be moving on to after that. Being able to list advantages and disadvantages associated with each puts you in a really good position when it comes to answering essay-type questions. So I'm going to give you a few exercises of that. There are two extension points in case you find it's very straightforward and easy. You can summarize the problems associated with artificial selection, in particular how it makes it more difficult to produce new varieties in the future. I put a little bit of information in the document for you to read on that. What's also very useful is to think about the problems associated with artificial selection with respect to the subject of the extra document that I've given you, camels. And so that's the reason why I wanted to quote the article that I found on the Gulf News. So there's lots and lots of information to give you a wider perspective as to how important it is, this role of selective breeding in producing varieties of animals and plants with increasing economic importance, particularly to the UAE. So I certainly hope that you feel that this is very relevant, because it's actually something that is very central to a lot of the industries that we rely on in terms of crops and animal produce. So you are watching this video, well done. Looking at this video on how to complete all the tasks set. The first task is another video, and I'd like you to watch that video with the help of a parent. And when you watch it, please make sure that you've got page 37 open in your book. That video is still processing, so it's still nice and fresh, but it will be ready for you. In that video, I'll be looking at two questions at the end of the video, and you'll need to figure out whether you are on the right track. You don't have to copy or write out the answers. A discussion with your parent is enough for you to cover that material. In the book, it actually talks about olives, tomatoes, and peppers. These are the crops that are selectively bred in the UAE, amongst others. Task 2 is opening two pieces of information. One is a video that I made on YouTube that reviews this, the document. Year 8 Biology Week 5 Selective Breeding. You should be able to download that from the classroom. That document looks like this. So open it up. Link to the YouTube video that I've just quoted is here. Watch that video, and it takes you through all of this. Glossary, selective breeding, main differences between natural and selection and artificial selection. You can switch terms frequently between selective breeding and artificial selection. They both mean the same thing. Then it talks about problems. This is where your extension information is. So that's for you extension people. Here are the main steps that are involved in selective breeding. That will be important later. The article that I've centered this document around is taken from the Gulf News, an article that was published in 2011. A future look into how a Dubai-based farm is using scientific techniques to determine the future of camel breeding. The article is quoted, and it goes on for 3 pages, 4 pages, and then after the 4th page, there's actually a pictorial summary of what the information is before. So these pictures will actually help support your understanding of the different processes that take place. So watch the video. I go through it. Right at the end, you can see where careers in science and technology can lead you to. You could even find yourself working in the future on selective breeding in the UAE. So that's the main document. Watch the video. As you have the document open, it will guide you through everything that you need in order to complete this quiz, which is task 3. This should take you no longer than half an hour to do everything, all of the tasks. The quiz, just very briefly, asks for your name, goes through and asks you definitions of what's meant by natural selection and artificial selection. You can get that from the document. I've highlighted that in the document in front of you. You've got natural selection and selective breeding, which is artificial selection. All you need to do is just highlight those, pop them in the quiz. Okay? The difference between natural selection and selective breeding is also in the document. And I want you to describe 2 advantages of selective breeding. Use the document. I've highlighted where you can see some important pieces of information. Those are the disadvantages. And you've got the advantages that are there as well. Okay, so you can also use the information that I have given you in the other video. Here are the advantages. 2 advantages could be useful. Cows can produce lots of milk, chickens produce large eggs, and so on. So these are the advantages. So put those in your own words. 2 advantages of selective breeding. 2 disadvantages of selective breeding. Really talking about link your points to disease, increased risk of genetic disease, and the loss of variety. Then after that, 4 steps involved in selective breeding. Those are the steps that are involved. And then right at the end, you've got an optional extension. So you don't have to finish this one. It is not required. It's only if you have found this to be very easy. If your target grade is A or an A star, I would like you to complete the extension. Certainly hope that you really enjoy the videos that I've made today. Have a think before you ask and send any questions. But if there's anything that I need to help you with, place it in the DMs and I'll see if I can get back to you as quick as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay at home. Bye for now.